so far. Do a little engraving on the case. Kind of cool. So I'm trying to get this bike done, and there's only a few things left. I gotta wire up the rear brake cable there, or rear brakes there. Wire up. Well, no, actually, I don't really need new wires, do I? Spark plug wires. I gotta put those on. I gotta take the other rear shock and either take the spring off it and paint it like this one, or buy those slammer shocks because I want to keep the rear end low. I like the angle of a rigid frame, but I don't have the money for a hardtail, so I'm gonna put a solo seat on it. That one's just kind of sitting there. But last night I got the foot clutch done. We got the jockey shifter's not on right now, but it's the jockey shift, and I got the foot clutch done last night, so I got to do a little adjusting, but it's really coming together. The bike is really coming together. I spent all this money and got the whole engine. I rebuilt it. I didn't do the correct break-in period, and I got on this long stretch of road doing 70. I was probably doing faster than 70. I don't have a speedometer. And just holding that speed. I had 5-6 cars behind me. There was no place to turn off, so I'm holding that speed. Hadn't hit the break-in period yet. And all of a sudden the bike just stops. And get home, find out, burned a hole in the piston. There's the jockey shifter. That is the old brake arm. The brake pedal, as you know, in the 1970s on the left side, not the right. It's flip-flop, the shifting's on the right. So I ran the jockey shifter. That bar's not done, obviously. Got to do a bunch of work on it, but through the brake tube there. There's a tube that goes under there for the brake arm to go. And then over here is the meat of the whole thing. So I ordered a 1975-76 Ironhead. That's the year where they decided to go over to the left shift because of the EPA regulations or whatever. And I think it's EPA. So they went over to the shift, but they didn't want to change the transmission. So they did this linkage here and ran to the other side. This is the arm that normally was on the brake. There was something connected, and then this like brake rod right here was connected to it. Now most people would take the shifter arm stuck out right here. Most people would take that and pull it out of the transmission and run this big thing right here back behind this cam cover. So that's why everybody's like, oh yeah, you got to take out your shifter shaft and everything else. Dude, I mean, I get it. That doesn't look all that great. However, I didn't have to do anything. I took off my shifter. I put that on. That went right. I put a Heim joint on there, and it went right into the brake thing. I didn't have to modify the brake arm. What the hell is that thing called? The brake rod at all. Like it. There's a little hole in it. See, and I just put a Heim joint on it, and bolted it in there, and it works perfectly. I mean, it shifts perfectly. So, I thought about because if you see there's the shifter shaft in there, I thought about you can either pull the cam cover off, but that's just a bunch of work, and put the thing inside of here and then just cut this off flat so you can't see it. There's a couple different methods, or somehow get this around that so it's back hidden behind the cam cover, but I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna leave it like this. What I'll do is I'll end up probably carving it up with my my Dremel or something, and maybe engraving it or something. I might even, who knows, I might even go full bore, take it off and brass plate it or copper plate it or something, to make it look kind of unique, and then do something here to make it embellished, and take this bar right here and swap it out with something to make it look embellished. I mean, you can have fun with shit. It doesn't have to be by the book. I'm trying to do everything on this bike not by the book. I'm taking off my oil lines and running copper. So instead of the rubber oil lines, there's going to be these copper ones, and I think that's going to look kind of unique, you know. It'll be attached via like a little 2-inch piece of rubber hose. That'll help with vibration, because when you do the flares or the compression fittings, they always leak. So you do a little piece of rubber hose like that. Obviously you gotta have clamps on there and everything. That's just sitting there, but you know, that helps with vibration a lot, helps with cracking pipes a lot, blah 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 blah. So this is just like refrigerant copper piping from Home Depot. It comes in a big roll, 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever you want, 3/8 inside diameter, no, 3/8 outside diameter, and it's you know, you just bend it up. I mean, shit, you can have all kinds of fun with it. If you want to get all crazy with it, you can come over here. You can do, you know, you could get all kinds of crazy with it. Now, bending this stuff, it'll kink really easily. To do something like this, you can watch other people's videos. They'll give you more detail. Pour sand inside of it so it doesn't kink, you know. Pour sand inside of the tube, heat it up with a torch. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy hot. And then wrap it around whatever you want that's the size that you want. You know, if you want something the size of a beer bottle, wrap it around a beer bottle. If you want it the size of a fucking, I don't know, cigar, go for it. Give it a try. You know, it'll wrap up pretty tight with sand in it, because the sand won't let it kink. That's just one method. I'm sure there's a million. Anyway, just wanted to make a short video because I keep trying to make a video and post it, but it keeps denying me one time after another. YouTube fucking treat me like a fat chick, and not sure what's up with that, but you know, what are you gonna do? So anyway, I still got some work to do. You know, I got this forward control over here with nothing linked to it now. It'll be my rear brake, obviously. I just got to run a long ass pole over there, or a cable, rod or cable. And then over here, let's see what I got to do. I mean, yeah, like I said, I got some shocks to do. I got to get some shocks on there. I got to figure out with the controls up here. I mean, obviously I don't need anything on the side, so I'm gonna probably just take this off, put a dummy throttle housing over there, and then over here I got the brake. But I'd like to clean the bars up and have nothing on them, ideally. I don't know about an internal throttle, because I don't know if I like that idea. I hear they're kind of undependable. But yeah, you know, it's moving along. It's moving along. Shit's been it's been like a year, and I've been doing this, and I had it running great, and then, you know, my stupid ass went out and didn't do the break-in period. And like I said, I got out there on a busy road and shit just died on me. So now I have brand new cylinders. Those are brand new from Eastern Motorcycle Supply. The heads, you know, relap the valves, all that stuff. Clean them up really good, and yeah, it's on its way. So just check back every so often if you want to see what this thing is going to look like, because it's going to be pretty dope. I'm going to do a hardtail eventually, but you know, for now I'm broke, so I'll probably do some slammer shocks or something. But have a good day. Hope you like it, man.